Writing a book is no easy achievement. In fact, for many people, it is a lifelong dream that will never be realized. If you've finished writing your book, congratulations. The fact that you've seen it through to the end already means you've gone further than most. But you'll soon realize it's not enough. Perhaps you always imagined writing your book would be the hard part, and everything that followed would be smooth sailing? If only. If you want to learn how to go from finishing writing a book, to building upon that achievement and taking things further, this video is for you. Follow these 9 steps to build upon your momentum and take your author career to the next stage. Releasing a book is a little like a jigsaw puzzle. You need to have an idea of the big picture, as well as being able to fit all the smaller pieces together to make it happen. A lot of authors are great at getting immersed in the joy of writing, but less suited to managing each and every stage of a book release. Your first step should be sitting down and creating a full book release project plan. This helps you to have a big picture view of the entire project. It also gives you something to refer back to when things get overwhelming. Depending on your preference, you might want to have something as simple as a handwritten checklist, or you might prefer a high-tech plan on a tool such as Trello. No matter which type of plan works best for you, it is always worth taking the time to create one. It helps you to avoid feeling overwhelmed, and stops you missing out on anything important. For most aspects of book publishing, you will have the option to either do things for free, or pay someone to handle it for you. When making these choices, you need to think about quality, time, and cost. How good does each element need to be? Just to take one example, you probably have the writing skill to create a perfectly acceptable book description. The time taken to write such a description is probably worth it, compared to paying someone to write one. For every stage of your book release process, you need to weigh up the pros and cons of paid versus free, and consider the quality required. Perhaps you decide that editing software represents better value for money than a pro editor, for example, or vice versa. You should also calculate estimates for how many copies you need to sell to break even, and to reach a satisfactory level of profit. This might seem tedious, but if you're serious about self-publishing, a quantified plan will help to keep you on track. Like it or not, potential readers will definitely judge your book by its cover. We live in a visual age, where people are used to scrolling through things rapidly. A good book cover will make people stop and notice your book. Amidst a glut of options, a great cover can help your book stand out from the crowd. Conversely, a bad book cover can really hurt your chances of success. Wouldn't it be a shame if people missed out on the chance to enjoy your writing because of your choice of book cover? As authors, we are often creatively depleted after finishing a book. This can lead to the temptation to rush our book covers. Don't make this mistake. Like it or not, your choice of cover can really make or break your book. Perhaps you've had a title in mind from the earliest stages of your book. Don't always assume your intended title is the best option. Many successful books throughout history have had last-minute title changes. Often, as authors, we are too immersed in our work to think objectively about its title. Getting reliable outside advice can be helpful in this area. You can also consider using a service such as PickFu or running a poll on your author group to find the best title for your book. In the earliest stages of a book launching, reviews can often be the fuel needed to drive your book forward. This can lead to the temptation to cut corners. Why attract legitimate book reviews when paid reviews are just a click away? Ultimately, as tempting as it might seem, it's never worth it to cut corners. Building your book on a foundation of fake reviews is asking for trouble. Your reputation, and even your ability to sell your book, can be taken from you in an instant. Instead, take the harder path. Seek legitimate, honest reviews. And don't worry if they aren't all positive. Rejection and negative feedback are very much part of the growth process for each and every writer out there. Reviews shouldn't be left to chance. Having a plan in place for attracting the right ones can save a lot of stress and hassle further down the line. Often, if you're willing to put the time in, free book marketing can really pay off. So what are some of the areas you should consider? Book promotion sites, social media marketing, and guest posting are just a few of the options available to you. You can also go offline and look for face-to-face opportunities to promote your book. After all the time and energy you've spent writing your book, surely you have a little more to invest in seeing it succeed? Spending time on free book marketing is a really great investment for all authors, but if you're at an earlier stage of your career, and perhaps don't have so much to spend on paid marketing, it's absolutely essential. Investing some money into paid advertising for your book can be a really effective way to get it out there. It's not essential. Free book marketing can definitely work. But, if you can afford to do so, paid advertising is something you should definitely consider. When considering paid advertising, you want to think about the right platform for your ads, such as Amazon advertising, or perhaps Facebook ads. You also want to prepare for a process of testing. It's unlikely that you'll get your ad exactly right the first time, so prepare for some testing and trial and error. You might need to spend a little to get it right, but once you do, advertising your book can be a great return on investment. After you finish writing your book, it can be tempting to fall into one of two bad extremes. On the one hand, you might start to obsess over your book. You refresh your sales data constantly, looking for any new information. You keep an every watchful eye on social media, hoping and praying that someone mentions your work. As crazy as it sounds, this is a natural trap to fall into. But it's counterproductive. After all, keep in mind the old saying, "A watched pot never boils." On the other hand, you can become a little too lax. If you've been immersed in writing a book, you might want to see the back of it, and move on to your next project. That's fine if all you care about is writing, rather than seeing a successful book through to the end. However, if you want to see success as an author, you should monitor your book's performance, as boring as it may be. Just be sure to strike a balance between obsessive monitoring and the monitoring that's too lax. This is the best way to learn invaluable lessons, and to tweak your book's marketing based on its performance. You don't want to be a one-hit wonder, do you? It can be tempting to take some time off after writing a book. For many writers, having a break is a necessary step to recharge their creative batteries. However, before you take a break, choose a next step. Perhaps you'll write a sequel, or research another book entirely, or even dedicate a set period of time to nothing but promoting the book you just released. No matter what you choose, selecting a next step can help you maintain momentum before taking a deserved rest. Thank you so much for checking out these tips on what to do after writing a book. We hope it's helped to simplify things. Book Publishing Guide wishes you every success for your next book. After all, you're one of the rare few who made their dream reality. You deserve every chance of success.